It was a little bit serendipitous.
It originally started with just our program looking to travel somewhere, perhaps for like a spring break.
Lindsey and Mike were planning on taking the women's team over to London, to Mike's hometown, for a trip. And at the very same time, the relationship between Monterey Tech and Drake was kind of starting to blow up.
The campus in Monterey Tech, through playing our football team in Africa, they were looking to perhaps extend that partnership that they had created during that process.
And they said, would you guys be interested in going to Mexico? And because it's a soccer country, it's got a soccer culture, we thought it might be interesting. And the next thing you know, we took a little exploratory trip to see what it was like to Guadalajara, and everything seemed to fit. That's when we just started, talking with people in the international office here, and they recommended actually one of the professors, Mitchell, we had heard great things about.
It was almost 2 years ago, I think, we were approached by athletics. Megan Franklin kind of had this idea.
The invitation came from athletics. First they asked Dr. Mitchell, and he said he'd go if I went, and so I said yes, and we were off to the races. There was a moment at the airport, I was checking them in, and one of the athletes said, holy crap, we're going to Mexico.
They are used to going to the Acapulco, the Cancun, maybe even the Tijuana, and we said, this is not that Mexico.
I think most people's impression of Mexico is either silly border towns or resorts on the ocean.
We kind of saw more of the world than we could have just by being here on Drake campus and experience it ourselves, so it was really awesome.
Well, first off, our professors, Kappen and Mitchell, were unbelievable.
The classroom experience was awesome. The professors were incredible.
The class that I generally teach on the Drake campus is an introduction to globalization that's required for sophomore business majors, which is an easy class to translate to an experiential field setting pretty much anywhere in the world, because the topics we can cover them in a localized fashion, so most of what we ended up doing on the ground was simply the class that I teach here on campus from a Mexican point of view.
The globalization part was really interesting because we got to tie it into the Mexican culture, and we got to see it firsthand instead of just reading it out of a textbook.
Academically, the professors, they set up the schedule, they did a really good job with that. And they had a lot of participation, and they did case studies and all that good stuff. And it wasn't a lot of just sitting in a classroom.
We really let them take the lead. I think that's what made the experience unique. We were in no way trying to sort of dictate what the curriculum or what the ideology driving the course was going to be.
The best part of the class was for sure the interactivity with the professors, as well as kind of how they made the class what it was. It was so fun.
So there was a lot of field trips and different guest lectures that they did bring in. But it was, for the most part, it was hands-on.
We kind of did interactive stuff. So one day we held a political rally. The next day we held a summit for a committee we were setting. It
obviously accelerated. Where we came back to campus in late January is perhaps where we would typically be as we get closer to spring break.
The soccer playing was crucial to next season, for sure.
Well, I think we were able to compress, sort of a 3-month spring season into 2 weeks. We played very, very high level of soccer.
We played Chivas Reserves, under 20s, Pumas under 20s. We had a number of huge clubs the kids had been, growing up playing soccer.
From the day we got there to the day we left, we really improved on the things that we wanted to improve on.
For us to get this class and to be able to train every day down there, as well as play 8 games in 4 days, was unbelievable.
And we had some kids really make enormous progress in 2 weeks.
I think the level of competition satisfied the coaches, but kind of the ability and the opportunity for the players to play professional Mexican teams was really, really good. So you got on the pitch value, and then off the pitch, which is just team formation.
It was a great bonding experience.
One of my favorite parts was we got to play with some kids at an orphanage.
The players jumped in with these kids aged 6 to 12, ran around with them. I had a team repaint almost the entire exterior of the school. They redid the logo mural that was on the wall. We helped them with homework, and then to see the impact that you could have in an afternoon. And the fact that some of the players have already told me they're inspired to fundraise for this school, they want to be involved, they want to maintain those connections. That, I think, would be probably the favorite sort of impact moment from the seminar.
I've described this experience to anybody that will listen as probably the best class that I've had in 12 plus years of teaching.
I don't think I've had that much fun with a group of guys, as well as the girls team. I got to know a bunch of the girls players, which was awesome. But definitely just being with my teammates and creating those memories, that's something I'll never forget.
I think when you look back upon your life, you look back at these kind of special moments, you know, that, man, it was hard and we had to dig ditches and we had to do this and it was raining and so on. These guys and the girls experienced something that they might never experience again in terms of the intensity.
It was also just great team time. We spent so much time together and we're so much closer on the field, off the field now, and I'll definitely always remember that.
You know, we would walk to events and our students would be picking up trash along the way, you know, picking up litter, you know, saying hi to help staff, to cooking staff. So much so that I think the folks that helped us out, the people that were serving our breakfasts and lunches, we created a bond with them that they came out in support of our team when we were playing Mexican teams. And that will stick with me for a long, long, long time.